Hi, and welcome to another video of vintage TV and radio stuff. You may recognize this radio from my YouTube page, the main photo, where it's stacked up on top of a bookshelf with a bunch of other radios. And it's something I acquired quite a few years ago, but for whatever reason, never got around to featuring. And I finally realized that it's been sitting here for at least 3.5 years now, and I just didn't do a video on it, so I'm doing it now. It's the RCA Victor model RAC41 table radio from back in the early to mid-60s. This is the RAC41W to be precise, because it is made of walnut. Yeah, it's actual wood. This was part of your design in your living room, perhaps, maybe the kitchen, maybe a bedroom. You know, it was part of the furniture. And it looks awfully stylish with the cool legs on the bottom and the nice top and everything. And now I usually don't clean too many of the things I feature on the videos, and you probably have noticed it. They're kind of dusty and dirty and just in their own natural state, you know, when I got them. This one I decided to prick up a little bit with a bit of furniture polish, so it looks awfully nice. And I'll show you the top of it and other parts of it in just a bit. But let's talk really quickly about RCA Victor. I mean, I could go on for hours talking about the history of the companies. The Victor Talking Machine Company was formed back in 1909, and of course it made Victrolas and records, and then RCA purchased Victor back in 1929, thus calling themselves RCA Victor. They dropped the Victor from RCA Victor, I believe, back in the late 60s. So this was probably one of the last years that you would see an RCA Victor combo together. I'll zoom in a little closer to the operating parts of it and give you a better look in just a second. But as you can tell, there's a speaker on one side, the AM/FM tuner on the other, and then the off-on loudness knob, the tone knob, and then the selector for FM, AFC, automatic frequency control, and AM. And here is a slightly closer look. You can see the RCA logo right next to the Nipper logo for the Victor end of RCA Victor. And it is a solid-state radio. We'll give you a look inside in just a few minutes, too. Here's just a quick look at the top of the radio. It's in good shape. This was where the label from Goodwill was located. And I haven't gotten any glue gone out yet to get some of that glue off, but I did do a little orange glow on the top just to make it a little nice and cleaner and shinier looking. Here's a better look at the right side of the radio. There's just a little bit of a chip on the bottom there. Otherwise, not too bad. Whoever had this took pretty good care of it. And like I said, it was actually a piece of furniture more than just a plastic radio just, you know, sitting on the counter. On the back, there is the label with the model number, serial number, and other information about the product. It says, high voltage inside. Do not open. This unit's fully transistorized and does not contain tubes or user serviceable components. Refer to qualified serviceman. So you could actually get this radio serviced at the time. And I'm sure it was pretty expensive. You know, back in the mid-60s, getting a nice table radio like this probably cost a pretty penny at the time. So you could fix parts of it. You can see just a little bit of chipping here and there, but otherwise not too bad. And instead of having a hardwired cord in there, there's a little part that you just have to unplug when you take the back off. You may have noticed I've only put 2 screws on here. I did take the back off to take a peek at it earlier. And once we're done listening to it, I'll take that back off and you can take a look inside. But that's kind of how that works, which makes it a little easier, I guess, to take the back off. But then you got to try to put that cord back in to the prongs inside there, and it's a little tricky, but not too hard. And since I showed you the right side of the radio, here's the left side. Yes, it's just good old walnut. Alrighty, let's go ahead and turn this thing on. I'm going to put the selector on AM right off the bat and turn on the radio. It's going to be a little scratchy, but otherwise the volume control works pretty good.
4 quarters. So you look at the third quarter
and there won't be much to hear here as far as AM. Although if there's anything outside of this area that a radio can pick up, this would be the one to do it probably, even with all these lights on and everything in here, and this being the basement. Maybe at night things might be a little easier to, as far as picking up outside signals, but not really, nothing here other than that one. Oh, here we go. That's a station that's, I would say about 50 miles from here. AM station. Not too bad. Alright, let's flip it to FM. Turn the volume down slightly.
The candidate and the party in terms of putting the planks in the platform.
Yeah, there is a platform large installation by the Ghanaian artist Kwame Akoto Bambo titled "We Am Very Cold."
So the first part.
Now here's the tone. That's the high end. That's the low end. Now you're really better off just leaving it right in the middle.
Coyote 93.
Now this is on the FM selector. There's also the AFC, which
Baby, I'm barely alive. Baby, you must fall alive.
tried to keep frequencies a little more on point.
Nothing, wanna put my town.
Draft talk tonight.
Okay, this comes in pretty good.
Agency. I'm in.
Tom Watson, make your preseason tune-up appointment at 453.
All right, well, pretty good. Good FM reception here. So all in all, it's still a nice functioning radio that, you know, would look nice maybe in the living room or other parts of the house still, if you wanted to listen to your radio that way. A lot of people don't have radios anymore, but this would certainly look nice in maybe a living room or the kitchen. I know when I was growing up, we had a table radio in the kitchen, and every morning we'd wake up to one of the local morning shows where I grew up. So that's the RCA Victor. It's the model RAC41W, W standing for walnut wood, from back in the early to mid-60s. The 65 was the year that I saw it in a lot of things online when doing a little research on this particular model. So I will be taking the back off. You can take a look inside, and then that'll wrap up our video of vintage TV and radio stuff. If you have any comments, leave them below. Like the video if you like it, and keep watching. We'll have more vintage TV and radio stuff down the road.